Editing your memory on the IC-705 is much more challenging, not as quick as, for example, the ICOM ID-752 Plus. It would be nice if they do an update and improve memory editing. Now, adding memories, quite often that's not usually a concern because a lot of people, they just download a file and import it, whether you're using your own program or another party's program or even the ICOM free software. The problem lies is editing an existing memory. There's an extra step that you have to do. You can't, for example, go in, hit memory, and do a memory write to new channel, write to selected, write to call, and then manage. Well, all it does is take you to a place where you're going to select the memory and so forth. So there's no option there. And then the other one, memory write, where you hold the button, overwrite. No, that's not, because you haven't made the changes. So first thing you have to do is, let's say this is the memory we want to change. Maybe the tone is off, right? Or there's been a change in the tone frequency. So you have to do write memory to VFO, and then you have to go to VFO. Now you can make your changes. Let's say your tone. You hold the tone, make your changes, and then you exit, and then you do a memory write. Oops, what did it say there? You already entered the maximum. Oh, okay. I was thinking I'm going to add a memory. I have 500 in there, so it needs a space for me to do it. But basically, that's it. That's the only way you can edit your memory, and then you do a write. Write to select the channel. So, overwrite, you say yes, no. Because I really didn't make any changes. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing, I have to admit. Fortunately, I have a database. I make my changes in there, especially if it's several changes I want to make. It's way quicker for me to plug in the radio into the computer and just read what's on the computer, on the radio, and then make the changes and then write it back. You can also replace that by storing it on a CSV file. You export it, you put it on the SD card, and then you load it, then restart the radio. The only disadvantage of that, which is one reason why I don't do it, is because I have D-star frequencies and memories that contain commands. For example, echo, info, unlink. They require 7 spaces. A CSV file, when you import it, strips those spaces. To me, that's a bug. It should be fixed. So the only other option is you keep saving everything as a CSV file. And if you ever have to recover, use the CSV file. However, editing a CSV file is a little bit more of a challenge. In fact, I don't think I've seen a program that allows you to do that. If they're out there, I haven't come across any. So if you know of any, let me know. Other than that, it's a great radio. I use it mostly for VHF, UHF, and D-Star on my base station. I do have the ICOM 7300, which I'll use for HF. And Not that I need the 100 watts all the time, but it's there. It's compact, it's small. One could use it in a mobile setup with the right bracket. I think that's the secret to make it useful. It's the right bracket. Excuse me. One thing about the ICOM, the 2730 or the 5100, I have the 2730 Black Edition, which I'm going to use for crossband application in the RV or an outside antenna. It's very simple to mount. You can mount it as one solid unit, which in my truck I have perfect place for it. If for some reason I want to make more room, I can disconnect it and have just a head with a magnetic mount. So it works. So I think mounting mobile-wise, the 2730 and the 5100 definitely would be easier than using the ICOM 705 for mobile. But they do have brackets, because you can mount here at the bottom to all sorts of different other brackets. It is 10 watts. For mobile, 10 watts is usually kind of adequate, but if you travel a lot outside the sphere of a city or a town, then you probably would want a higher gain antenna and 50 watts. That's usually will make it much enjoyable talking to you without having the picketing fence and noise coming in the background. And especially on 2 meters where there's a lot of RF noise requiring a stronger signal. Otherwise, the noise will just drive you away. So you end up going on UHF more. Okay. And if you have any questions about it, hopefully I did answer the ones on memory. If you have come up with a few other ideas and information, let me know. Post it on the comments so others can also learn from it. If you haven't done so, please subscribe, and be nice if I get thumbs up too, but please subscribe and pass the word around. Until next time, have a nice day.